I'm coming. Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Chad, Seeking Infant Tool. Glad to make your acquaintance for all you that are new here. Hey, the video I'm going to do right now, real quick, trying to get as much information as I can as fast as possible, so the video might be a little bit long, but it's storage solutions for your truck or your camping and everything else. This goes on, I've got experience with 3 or 2 of these 4 items I'm going to show you. One, don't have to have any experience on, you'll see that in a second. But what's really nice about all these products is 3 of them are made here in the USA. 1 is made in Israel, overseas. None of it's made in China. Really good. Most of them you're going to recognize the name or at least what they look like. And every one of them is readily available at the making of this video here in January 2024. Yes, it's going to be hard to say 2024 every now and then. So without further ado, let's get the first box in here and we'll show you what this looks like. Let's try it again. All right, there we go. Wasn't ready for that first one. Hey, so this crate right here, as you'll see, it's the Hyper Tough. I had to read that again because it's a new to me crate. A little box like this. What we're gonna do is, as I talk about these, I'll have Ella pop out some information. We'll also plug in some video on the websites that you can find this. You may find links in my description down below of these things, but some of these you can find at basic internet search. This Hyper Tough one right here, it's an 8-gallon one. It's a tote I got from Wally World. I was there a little while back. I saw this. I thought it would be pretty neat. Just not only for anybody's vehicle or a car, but also to talk about something that's useful for camping. What's really nice about the Hyper Tough is super lightweight and it's made in America, which are really 2 good things for me. Also, the latches here on the sides. They're not, I should say, super durable as you'll see in some of the other options that I'll show you, but they do grab really well and they hold tight. So nothing happens that way. I'm getting crazy with that. Again, trying to hurry up. What's nice is the lid is stackable, so when you put these on, they have a nice little like 3/4 inch lip around here. So when you do put one on top of the other, they're not going to shift too much, but they won't lock together. So if that's something to think about. Otherwise, really nice and durable, pretty deep on the inside. And what's nice about this one, the Hyper Tough, it's more straight walled up and down on both sides, which I really like because when you're trying to store things, you'll notice some containers, especially one I'll show you here shortly, they have more of a taper to it, and that always lends itself to being a little bit harder to place certain objects inside it. At the making of this though, I didn't see anything larger than this one, and I only did a cursory search on Wally World for that, Walmart for you that don't know, but really nice otherwise. Dimensions and everything of course are right here, so you'll be able to see all that. And again, you'll see a link, or there might be one down below for this unit right here. I don't have any horse in the race, so if you do decide to buy one of these, I don't get anything out of that. So, but one I do have a lot of experience in, let's bring those in next. This one is one of the 2 that I'd like to show you guys. These here, of course, are the all famous Costco crates, or the Sam's Club, or the Home Depot, the Menards, the Lowe's, wherever you get these. They're awesome. Super simple. These are around the 27-gallon or something like that, 20-some gallon mark. We have dozens of these, upon dozens. And this, one of these is actually one of the first type we used for camping. Before we had a rooftop tent or anything else, I took the kids out when they were like 5 and 6 years old. We went camping, we threw a bunch of stuff in the back of the pickup truck and went out and spent 4 or 5 days with a bunch of folks. We used a bunch of these that we got from Costco. I think at the time, and even to this date, I think they're only around that $10 to $12 mark. So pretty darn cheap for what you're getting, and still made in the USA. I think the company's called Greenmade. So this is really cool. They're a little bit big for a lot of folks that have Jeeps and the Toyota Land Cruiser kind of genre, but if you got a pickup truck, these would work pretty good. They too have a nice big lip and a lid. It's about a 1-inch depth right here, so you can stack them, but they will shift or fall. But what's really nice is you have these little slots right here. So what we found to do is when we put one on top of the other, we'd run a couple of bungees over the top to keep them together and stable, especially if the tubs weren't too full. It would be something that I can grab 2 of them at the same time and go with. That wouldn't be a problem there. They are not waterproof, nor are they dustproof. They will keep some moisture and dust out, but these little slots right here, as you see, as you open these lids up, they have the same thing here too. They have a big lip, but dust seems to still get in and out of these, especially with some of the areas like in Oregon, Eastern Washington, and Wyoming that we traveled in. We seem to get a little penetration of dust and just slight moisture. We did use these for a big road trip from Washington State all the way to Michigan one year when I didn't have a canopy on my truck, but it was really good. But this isn't the only size. They actually have one more size as well. And that's this one right here. It's a little bit smaller. I don't know the gallon off size, but it's going to be around that 8 to 15 gallon mark. What's really nice is these are stackable, but they say when you stack these, they're fine for a couple hundred pounds or something. But if you notice how this wiggles like this, well, this used to be full of things, and what ended up happening, the bottoms actually bend a little bit, as do the tops. So as you're filling them up with a lot of things, they have a tendency to give away because the lid's very big. Also, I would not recommend standing on these for a long period of time or even for multiple occasions, because I broke through a couple of these at one time and it wasn't fun. I thought maybe the first one I broke through was just a fluke. It wasn't. I broke through a second one, and one of them was actually when we were out camping. So I would say not to stand on these. But this size, however, it seems like, I don't know if the plastic's thicker, but it's maybe just because of the fact that the surface is smaller. So you have a lot more stability with the lip that's here. It gives you a little bit more strength. Stand on these all day long, works out perfectly. But unlike the other one at the Hyper Tough that we talked about, these here have a little bit more of a taper to them. So you are losing a little bit of storage at the bottom of the tub versus the top of the tub. So if you're trying to look for something that's a universal size going all the way down, it's completely perfect all the way down for items that you want to pull in and out. Maybe these aren't the case, but these small ones would work really good for people that are starting out with Jeeps and such, because it doesn't matter what size bed pickup truck you have. If you're size delinquent like a Toyota short bed, or you might have a full-size truck like myself, then you can go with one of these. But either way, you can't go wrong. Cost-wise too, again, these are around the $10, $12 mark. I think we got a 3-pack of these, a 2-pack or a 3-pack of these, no, a 3-pack of these, and I think they're around $25, $25. But again, it's been a few years since we did that. So two very good options, and not that expensive when you're getting into camping and overlanding. Think you can throw it? 3, 2, it's gonna kill me. Oh, alrighty. This one's a little bit more big. This is a little bigger. These here are rigid. Now, these we used for about 4 years. Absolutely love these things. They're so durable, very strong. They're primarily made for contractors, of course, and for their tools and all their gear and everything. But with that being said, these work great. Not only to give you a very secure storage box or container, but what's really nice is the dustproof and waterproof level that you get with these. One thing before I show you that though is right here on these, you'll notice these little handles right there. They actually lock into place to hold the components. So you're picking these up and you're moving them around. And what we used to do is we would take 3 or 4 of these, we'd stack them, they'd all be filled up, we would stack them, lock them together. I could pick up all of them, put them in the back of the truck, we'd slide them in the front of the truck, all the way to the back of the cab, towards the cabin, and we take a bungee and just run a single bungee across these. And because of these buckles right here, we could drive with all of these in place using only one strap. So it's really cool. So undoing these, I'll show you really quickly. This little one here we used to use for all of our kitchen utensils and lighters and things like that, the knives and everything. What's really nice is this orange gasket you see right here. When it comes down, it seals this thing perfectly tight. No water, no dust intrusion, nothing. Again, 4 or 5 years of use with these things. They are dirty, they're scratched and beat up a little bit, but they're still phenomenal. Really good positive locking latches, just like that. And if you really wanted to, you can run some zip ties or something through that, or some type of carabiner to make sure these things don't pop open in case something tips around. But really, really cool. These are the only ones out of the 4 items I'm showing you. These are the ones that are made in Israel. The other 3 items are all going to be made in USA. As you know, made in USA, made close to me, made, you know, law enforcement owned, veteran, small business kind of stuff. That's what I like to promote most. Ridgid is not a small company. Many people that know Ridgid know they make a lot of power tools and such, shop vacs and such, but they had these. Now we like this basket. It's like this. It's like a milk crate in a way. There's a lot of slits in it. Of course, it's not dust proof or waterproof or anything. But the reason why we chose this is we would keep our things inside here, like those citronelle candles. We would keep our sinks that we use to wash and rinse stuff when we were camping. We put it all inside this because we didn't care if it got a little dusty or anything. And we saved some money because these are not that expensive, or not that cheap, I should say, but they're not the most expensive choice. The box here is simply similar to the small one right here, of course, just larger. You got to get the carry handle. You got all the stackability and everything as well. This case here will go somewhere around that $50 to $60 mark. Right about there. This was around the $35 mark, as was this one right here. Now, granted, I bought these back in 2019-ish, I think it was, and we've been using them that time. I don't know if they still sell them on Home Depot's website, because that's where we bought them, but I know that you can find some on eBay, you can find them on Amazon from time to time, or maybe some garage sales or something like that. So if you're thinking about getting into camping and you want a good durable option, I would have to say this probably is one of the most bulletproof options that you can look at. So let's go to our 4th and final option. Oh, woman. There we go. The final option. Now, these here are new to me. I have not used these yet. I've seen a few people on YouTube and on social media talk about these. These are Sidio Crate. These are made in USA. There's actually a company down in California, and it's new to me. I actually just came across them on Instagram with a couple of creators that were using them. They had them off to the side. What was nice is they had a small crate like this, and Sidio Crate makes liners. And they had a liner in this with a lid, and they had their camera gear inside it, which is pretty cool because it's a pretty durable crate. Now, they have 2 different sizes. They have this size here as well as that size. The crate itself, you can get around $50. The crate with the watertight lid, you're going to look at around $100. What I did, though, is I took advantage of some Black Friday sales that they had last year, and I got a 3-pack here, and this is called the Sidio Crate, I think 2.0. And this is the 3-pack. And when you do a 3-pack, you get 2 of the large crates, 1 of the half crates, but then you pick your colors. This was the color selection that they had at the time. Several other color options were out, but I didn't mind these colors. I liked them because I like to have color options for what might be in this kit versus what might be in this one, and then what might be in the orange one. They have solid colors like grays and blacks and blues and greens, and then you can get your olive drabs and your sands and all that stuff. So that was really nice about that. But what's neat about some of these is Sidio went ahead, and when they make these crates, the half crate has numbers along the inside lip right here and down here. So when you're putting these little dividers in them, like this, you're not putting them in crooked. You say, I'm going to put it in number 13 here, so I'm going to find number 13, I'm going to slide it right there, and they're easy. The only downfall with this is I noticed that they do have a little flex. They are a little bit softer without a lid or anything. Now, when you have these dividers, it's nice because they keep them from bowing inwards. They give them some stability that way. Now, you could pull these out easily enough without the little finger things they give you. I don't think the finger things work that well, but they probably work better if they're in a container that has a lid like these. These Sidio crates are the water-resistant, weatherproof crates. They have a very good positive latch on them. It's a pretty darn good latch. And as you'll see right here, they have a somewhat kind of a clear silicone gasket all over around the edges here. The lid, as you can see, has this honeycomb type look to it, which gives it a little bit more rigidity. Now, granted, I've never stood on these before, and I don't know, they're a little soft, but I think I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm going to go ahead and stand on one for you all to let you know how they work. And as you see, they flex a little bit. I could use it maybe to help myself up and to do something, but I wouldn't put these outside of the tailgate of my pickup truck and use these as stairs to get in and out. I don't trust that flexibility is going to last very long. The rigid boxes they're the ones you can stand on and beat up like crazy. With that said, now when you get these, they're not assembled. The lids are separate from the crate. I ordered them individually, so I got my lids in a box and they came shipped to me, and there's a few pieces in there and some screws. The downfall is those that might not be mechanically inclined, it's going to take you probably a little while to figure out how to put together because there were no directions or instructions or anything. But within about 5 or 6 minutes of figuring it out, they give you 8 screws, 4 really big ones and 4 smaller ones. The big ones put together the black that you see around here. They put the left and the right sides together with the side rails right here. And then the smaller screws, they actually attach a little piece of black plastic that you see right here and here. There's screws that screw into that and keep this all together. They're pretty darn tough though. They're really durable. What's really nice, it's got that milk crate construction with all these, the extruded or this molded plastic that they use. It's really strong and durable. And with all the crates, just like the half crate there, you will still get one of these dividers. As I try to struggle it out, you'll get these dividers like that. But as in the small one, on the big ones here, you actually have numbers going across the top rails here that help you line these up. And again, it's only for that. Yeah, you could probably use it for measuring or something, but I got it on 13 on this side. I know I'll put it on 13 on that side, and now my divider is even. But otherwise, you know, pretty good. They do have a little tiny, which I wish it was bigger. I wish this lip was a little bit high. It's only about maybe a 1/4 inch at best, this little lip. And it's like, there's nothing here, there's here. You can see there's a little gap here. If they would have made these a little bit higher, I think that would have been a much better product. You can stack them together, but I can definitely see you're going to want to strap these down. The other downfall is unlike the yellow and black Greenmade crates that we had, where you can stack them and run a bungee over it, there's no holes or anything for a bungee to attach to on these sides. There's absolutely nothing to do that. So when you put these in your vehicle, you're either going to have something on the floor of your vehicle to strap these to keep them from bouncing around, or you're going to have something on the sides that you can strap something across the top, because there's no way if you're going off-road with these that these are going to stay stacked on top of each other. That lip is just, this edge, this bottom lip and the top lip is just way too small for something like that. But I am anxious to put these out. I'm going to be fielding this year in 2024. I'll let you guys know how they work and keep you up to date on how durable these lids might be. I am happy with how they seal, and I am happy about the little rulers that they give on the side. You know, if you're going fishing or something, you can put your fish across that. I think 16 inches is a keeper in most states when it comes to walleye and trout and bass and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to have that. But otherwise, they do have a lot of options. The last thing I'd like to touch on is something I would like to get to try out. They actually have a bamboo cutting board for these. It's a lid, but it's a bamboo cutting board. So it acts as a standard lid that sits more flush than this, but then you can use it for processing and cooking up your dinners and everything, which when you're limited to space, like someone that might be in a Jeep or a little Toyota pickup truck or a 4Runner, every little bit of surface helps when you're meal prepping for your family. So anyhow, gang, thank you very much. Hopefully we got all the information in here as possible. If you got any questions, leave them down below. You can always reach out to me at ck-tool.com. Homeless knives, everything else, all the new apparel, everything is on ck-tool.com. So I do appreciate all the help and support that way. I'll let you guys know how all these go. Links, information, all down below. Hopefully, if whatever wasn't answered here on the screen. So until the next video, gang, remember, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff, and we'll see you on the next YouTube video. Bye.